Ghostface was the 12th DLC to be released in Dead by Daylight and was announced during the third year anniversary celebration. Danny Johnson, also known as the Ghostface in-game, is a stealth killer with an original backstory that is unique to Dead by Daylight because the mask is what has been licensed in this case, and not the movie Scream, the mask most for. The mask design, which is owned by Funworld, was developed for novelty stores in the early 1990s as part of the Fantastic Faces line and was at the time called the Peanut-Eyed Ghost. Someone on a scouting location for the film happened to find the mask in a box. The film they were scouting for was, of course, Scream. At the time, though, it was called Scary Movie, and the script had Ghostface only listed as a masked killer, though in the movie, the costume would be called Father Death. The mask, looking like the Scream painting, the rest, as they say, is history. Scary Movie would eventually wind up being the name of the parody movie series, with 5 movies in the franchise, which would not only spoof Scream, but also knock the knockoff that wanted to cash in on the resurgence of horror that happened because of Scream. When the movie first began, they didn't have the license for the mask, so at the time they used a mask they had created for the movie, with only 7 of them being made. If you look closely, you can actually see them being used a couple of times during the movie. And let me know down below where you think the non-Funworld masks are in the movie. When they finally did get the licensing for the mask, it was slightly altered from the Fantastic Faces version to be used in Scream. And for Scream 2, and following that, the mask was sold as part of the Ghostface line. Scream was released in 1996 and was followed the next year by Scream 2 in 1997. Scream 3 came out in the year 2000, with Scream 4 coming out in 2011. And that was the last of the Scream movies directed by Wes Craven before his passing in 2015. That was it for the franchise until the 5th movie, called Scream, because this is the world we live in now, released in 2022, which was quickly followed by Scream 6 in March of 2023. Scream 7 was announced at the end of the first box office opening weekend of Scream 6. The television show was an anthology series, with the first 2 seasons using their own version of the mask, which did not make fans happy. The 3rd season was a reboot of the TV series, and it was called Scream Resurrection, and actually did use the Ghostface mask. However, it got moved to another channel and was canceled shortly after. There is also a book where the killer uses the Ghostface mask, and it is part of the Ghostface canon in that it is written by the owners of the copyright. So it is an actual Ghostface killer with the mask. Again, it's a series that is completely independent from Scream, but it uses the mask. And that was the whole point of the mask. Anybody could just slip it on and be anybody. It's anonymous. I haven't read it, but hey, let me know down below if you want me to read it and have a look. Dead by Daylight isn't the first game that Ghostface has appeared in. Ghostface has appeared in 2 other games, and 3. I don't know, I don't play that one, but anyway. In 2021, Ghostface appeared in the Haunting event in Call of Duty Warzone, as well as Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, for a month-long Halloween event. Ghostface also available in Among Us at the time of writing this script, which is also when the announcement of Scream 7 came out, so just heads up. Anyway, hashtag non-spawn, but Ghostface is available in Among Us and will be available until April 30th, 2023. And it's free, and apparently you just have to log in and get the game. So if you're watching this before April 2023, log in and get it. And if you're not, oops. But hey, if you're watching this before April, you want to give me a follow, I'd really appreciate it. My birthday's in April, and I want to get 1,000 followers before my birthday if I could. It's a great birthday present, right? You don't have to pay for anything. You just follow and then, like, watch vids when I manage to get them out. Anyway, back on track. Ghostface has appeared in Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure multiple times in both the Orlando and Hollywood locations. That sounds like something I would like to have gone to. However, as you'll see, I can't now. It was a live show that was ran from 1991 to 2017, with Scream appearances running 1997 to 2011. Okay, so this crossover is going to take a little bit of explaining, but I'm going to go in chronological order, so it's not going to make much sense until I get to the end of it. In 2000, Jay and Silent Bob would show up on a backlot tour of Stab 3. Then later, in a different movie, Ghostface and Wes Craven would have a cameo in 2001. Filming a Scream 4 that would never happen because they ended up doing the actual Scream 4. But in Jay and Silent Bob's movie, they lose a monkey and they end up on a Hollywood set. So there's like 2 Hollywood sets that Jay and Silent Bob are on. Anyway, they're walking around and they find a scene being filmed, and it's Shannon Doherty. And then Ghostface pops up behind her and she knocks Ghostface out, and she actually goes to unmask the killer because that's always a smart move. But anyway, it's the missing monkey. What's funny about this scene is that Shannon Doherty played Brenda in 90210 with Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling being the actress who played Sydney in the Stab movies 1 and 2, the Stab movies being the in-game movie. In-game? I'm keeping it in. Stab is the in-movie movie franchise based off of Gail's books that were written about the Woodsboro murders. Tori Spelling wasn't in Stab 3 though. And Jay and Silent Bob were on the Stab 3 set as well. As of 2022, there are 8 movies in the Stab franchise. The last connection that I could find, I actually couldn't really find, but I'm going to put it here anyway, because if anyone can find it, I want to watch it. The rest of them were pretty interesting. Paramount streaming service that came out a little while ago, apparently Ghostface was in the commercials, and I can see it because I've watched some of the I've watched all the commercials I could find, trying to find it. I couldn't find him. And it makes sense. You can't really have Ghostface going around murdering beloved characters, but the thing is, Sadako's there. He just like phases in and out a little bit, so I don't know. If you saw it, or if you remember it, or if you found it, let me know please down in the comments below. I'd love to see how Ghostface got incorporated enough to be included, and then why is it gone? I'm very confused. But that's it for all the crossovers, and I just want to start off this section by saying I'm not really a fan of masks. So when I say things like there have been many variations of the mask over the years, with small things like the shape of the eyes, making it a new mask. Look, if I offended someone by saying that's a small thing, I'm sorry. I did my best to research this. I only looked at the ones that are in the game or available, I should say, in real life. So, yeah, I'm just going to compare how they look in Dead by Daylight compared to the real world version. That's it. Don't come at me. This is the classic Ghostface mask. You'll notice the Ghostface mask we got wasn't quite as bright as this one, and the robes were definitely more Father Deathy in the classic ones. This is, I believe, from the second movie, because that's when the mask, as I said earlier, became known as the Ghostface mask. Wouldn't really make sense for it to be classic and use the peanut dyed ghost mask, if that makes sense. But again, I don't know. I don't collect masks. The changes are so slight to me, I could never tell the difference. Again, sorry, don't come at me. Or come at me in the comments, but, please be nice. Anyway, next one. I honestly thought the devil mask was a ghost face mask before it was a Dead by Daylight mask, but as far as I could tell, no, it was a Dead by Daylight mask that has since been actually made into a mask. That's pretty cool. It's not the first one, there's a few of them, but this is the first ghost face untransformed mask that seems to have been made for Dead by Daylight and has since been turned into masks, which was probably the plan all along. But that's pretty cool. You can get this costume in both adult and kid sizes. This mask is no longer for sale, making it one of the more rare masks. It came with a burlap hood, and there was also a version that had white gauze instead of the burlap, as well as some rope around the neck. Apparently that one is super, super rare, so if you have that, that's like mask gold or something. I don't know, honestly. But yeah, kind of cool. We got Scarecrow in Dead by Daylight when it's so rare. It's the Scorched mask. It's only available during Halloween events. As far as I could tell, these were made exclusively for Dead by Daylight. They are from the Malevolence tome, with a regular version as a reward on the Rift, and also a recolor in the Deep Rift. There are metallic masks, as we'll see in just a second, but the mask itself is usually what's metallic and the eyes are black. In this case, as you can see, metallic with the red eyes. So I think it's something special for Dead by Daylight because of the Deep Rift. But if I'm wrong, I'm sure people will point that out down below. As I was saying earlier, there are metallic masks already. I found two different sets of metallic masks. One set is green, blue, and purple, and the other has gold and chrome, but no silver. And finally, the Viper that you can purchase in the store is also another one that has been turned into a real-life mask that you can buy. Again, in kids and adult sizes. Pretty cool, I think, that Ghostface has evolved so much, and now next up is the zombie. This mask came out at the same time as the Scarecrow mask, although it's not nearly as rare. It is available for purchase, at least as of last week. Yeah, so that's it for the masks that are in Dead by Daylight and their real world or movie counterpart. Blassa! And there you go. Everything I could find out about the Ghostface mask and how it fits into Dead by Daylight. It's a bit different than the last video because there's no character or plot to go over and say how closely Dead by Daylight got to the real thing. But I tried to do as best as I can, and if you stuck it through to the end, I really, really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like it, and as I said earlier, my birthday is on April 7th, so a great birthday present would be to have 1,000 followers by then. It's free, and it would make me really, really happy. I try to stream every day on Twitch, although I'm not that great on it, but I will do my best. So if you're watching this, go check out my Twitch channel. Maybe I'm live, and if not, well, maybe throw me a follow there as well so that you'll know when I do go live. Or you can follow me on Twitter as well. That's where I announce when I go live and where I go live. And also if I've said before I'm going to go live and I can't. So throw me a follow there if you like. And if you also want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi as well that you can check out. Bye!